They're the Conbini boys. They're the Conbini boys. They're the Conbini boys.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Oh, it's going really well. Episode 100, Mike.
100. Good God.
Hard to believe.
It is hard to believe.
Yeah, I thought we'd get to around like episode 6, episode 7, and then it was gonna fall off. But almost every week we've been coming back since the start of COVID to talk Conbini, and maybe even a bigger surprise has been how much the Conbini has offered to talk about.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that we were most worried about when we first started the podcast is, yeah, like you said, what are we going to talk about on episode 10? But then we started looking through the weekly counts of items that were being brought out. And I feel like we both had this moment of like, we can do this forever.
In the Conbini, I mean, it's even greater than I ever even thought it was. It's truly a remarkable enterprise.
Yeah.
And not just new items, but we've said this a few times, but just boneless chicken.
Boneless chicken itself.
We've done 100 episodes, and I'm going to say probably 93, 94 of those have included discussion around a new boneless chicken item as part of the Chicky Wars. I never thought the Conbini would have that much to offer with boneless fried chicken, and you could probably do something similar with other categories like canned cocktails.
Oh yeah.
Onigiri certainly.
Onigiri.
You could do a whole podcast on Conbini onigiri.
That's a good point. You definitely could. Each week just pick up a new onigiri and have at it. That's actually really
Cup
really
ramen,
good.
the same thing. There's always a new cup ramen or noodle thing coming out. I mean, really, it's a relentless
Grind.
enterprise. It's incredible what the Conbini has to offer, and it's been such a joy to unlock it these
Yes.
past 100 episodes.
It has, and I gotta say, Matt, regardless of, now that we have thousands, I mean, probably millions of listeners each episode, the thing that really is best is just,
100-ish.
yeah, about 300. The thing is, Matt, this has just been great to do with you for 3 years. Get to talk with my best friend each week about the Conbini. It's pretty much as good as it gets, and I know our moms are happy about that too. So
Actually, I think my mom stopped listening, so we did lose
Oh, boy.
who I thought would be a forever
Oh, boy.
listener.
yeah,
But she keeps telling me she's going to catch up. Just hasn't happened, Mike, so...
I think my mom unfortunately has stopped listening as
Yeah.
well, Matt. So
Yeah, so we lost the moms. But that's okay. We have a whole
Maybe-
bunch of dedicated fans, 300 or so.
that's true, and maybe we can the 100th episode. That's a big one. So maybe we can get our moms to like get back on.
Yeah,
maybe get them.
I have to broadcast that to them.
Get back on the train, yeah. All right, Matt. Well, okay. I mean, it's been an awesome 100 episode, awesome 3 years. But Matt, I was looking through some of the episodes that we've made over the years, and I just kind of wanted to just throw a couple names at you. Anything that sparks, a good memory or anything. Again, 100 episodes. Episode 2, Matt. Drinkable cheese tart and Gubo. What does that ring any bells? Drinkable cheese tart, Pablo's cheese.
I'm thinking Pablo. Pablo
Yeah.
came to mind. Is that the Pablo cheese tart, Mike?
That is undoubtedly Pablo cheese tart. That was like I said.
This is one of the great things about the Conbini. This is one of the great things about Japan.
Yeah.
In Japan, you get these stores. They sell one thing, and that's all they do, and they get really good at it. And there was a store that opened up making something called the Pablo cheese tart. I still don't really know what this is. But that's all they made. They made Pablo cheese tarts, and then it took off. They were super popular, and so the Conbini, I can't remember which one, maybe it was Lawson, I think, picked up the Pablo cheese tart and began distributing versions of it, different forms. I guess in this case it was a drinkable one, all throughout Japan. So you have this niche business. I mean, Ultra, we make one thing, the Pablo cheese tart. Now the Conbini is going to say, hey, people like that thing. Let's broadcast it throughout the country. And they do this all the time. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yep. I think Pablo's cheese tart has a special place in the history of our podcast. All right, man, I'm going to run through a couple more. Lawson's Mayo Onigiri Regional Tournament. I think that was one of the first great campaigns we picked up. I think that was all. Each prefecture had their own, or each region had their own mayo-themed onigiri. Another one, episode 9, Legendary Famichiki Tales, Extraordinary Feats of Juice. I think maybe my favorite episode of all time. I don't know.
That was episode 9, huh? That
episode
was early
9.
Days.
That was early days, the first one of those.
Well, I have a feeling, Mike, the Feats of Juice are going to be coming back soon.
Yes, sir.
We'll be announcing more later this episode, but no doubt about it, Mike, the Famichiki throughout our 100 episodes has played an important role in the podcast, important role on our Twitter feed.
Yes.
And I don't think there's any question in my mind at this point that the Famichiki is the best item at the Conbini.
We'll see. That is what people said before, at least. And that's, I think, we both agree. But like you said, there is an announcement. So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. But all right, Matt, another one that I know that you really loved. This is episode 18 and 19, Conbini Dreams in Okinawa and Fami Ricky, the Family Mart and Choshu Ricky tag team.
Well, this was probably my favorite episode, Mike, because it combined our two great loves, the Conbini and professional wrestling. And this was an outstanding campaign.
Oh,
featuring,
my.
had a lot of layers to it, because first it was an Okinawa campaign, which you gotta love, featuring items that come out of Okinawa. But then they had the professional Choshu Ricky, an absolute legend in Japanese wrestling. And I learned from you, Mike, that he was inventor of the sharpshooter.
That's exactly right. The what was it? The
Scorpion garlic press or something?
No, the Scorpion Deathlock. The Scorpion Deathlock.
Deathlock. Yes, and it was just like this, not washed up, although probably washed up, kind of, I don't know, 60-ish-year-old guy, big old beer belly, and he was just cranking out huge items.
Yeah.
More pork, more pork, more pork was kind of the theme of that one, but that was a great episode. I think that was my favorite.
Yeah, you often say, I know you love that one. Episode 19, that would be if people want to listen. All right, episode 20, we made it to YouTube. So we've been on YouTube now for 80 episodes, Matt. Skipping ahead, episode 25. I thought this was a pretty important one for us. Highway Robbery, Conbini Christmas Cake.
Well, Mike, this is... I haven't done this year's analysis yet, but... one is coming. It just takes a while because there are a lot of numbers to crunch. Mm-hmm. They're not large numbers, by the way, which is the problem. Cake and pizza, Mike. These are the two industries in Japan that we are convinced are run by some organized criminal network.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the dimensions on these Christmas cakes... Mm-hmm. versus the prices of these Christmas cakes, it's really outrageous. You're paying several dollars per bite.
Yeah.
And even production-wise, we're sold these images. I actually don't even know how you can build cakes this small with this much impressive detail, but they managed to do it, and they charge an outrageous amount of money. This year's analysis will be coming in a newsletter later this month.
All right. Well, keep your eyes out for that. No doubt highway robbery. Matt, going ahead, we had the Conbini tournament, and that was exciting. And I think my favorite episode that came out of that was Rip Can Coffee. And that was, I really liked that one because that was your guy. Can Coffee went down, and not only did it lose, it lost to Drip Coffee, right?
It did. It lost to Drip Coffee, Mike, and that one still stings. But you too faced a devastating loss. We both suffered tragically in that 2020 tournament. Mm-hmm. Makari Sweat went down. I think it was in the final 4.
It was close. I can't remember.
I believe it lost to Tuna Mayo Onigiri.
I think it did too. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I will say, though, the reason I really love this episode, I'd recommend people to go back and listen. Episode 34 is we both give eulogies about various items that lost throughout the tournament. And I thought that was maybe some of the the best stuff we've done. All right, Matt. Okay, so skipping ahead, episode 39 to 43. That's when we did the Beyond the Big Three series, where we first took like a deep look at like Seiko Mart, Mini Stop. I can't believe that that was, episode 40 that it took us that long to like take a deep dive into the other non-top 3 Conbinis.
Yeah, Mike. Well, and there should be more, by the way, but there's been a roll-up happening over the last decade or so. Circle K was my favorite Conbini that got rolled up by Family Mart. Mm-hmm. But no, that was a real joy, Mike. And, still, there is one Conbini neither of us has been to, and this needs to happen, but Seiko Mart.
Yeah.
In actual real life, not podcast life, we've not been to Seiko Mart, which is run in Hokkaido, and we came across Seiko Mart through a Reddit forum. Of course, everything is bad on Reddit, including this post that claimed the best fried chicken was at Seiko Mart.
Yeah.
But we don't know for sure. We have to find out, so that's on the bucket list to head up to Seiko Mart.
Yep. As soon as you get over to Japan, that's what we're doing. Yes. Okay.
Impressive creativity, reflecting on all these different episodes that we've done.
Right? I know. That's why I was picking up so many items. I was like, wow, hey, this is actually pretty good. All right, episode 47, 7-Eleven Strikes Back. This was a... Can you explain this this epic...
We need to follow up on this story, Mike. This was actually being tracked by major news outlets like the New York Times. But we were ahead of it. Yeah, so this was a big movement happening in industry where Conbini franchise owners were pushing back against headquarters for more reasonable working conditions, specifically around hours. A gentleman who owned a franchise, 7-Eleven franchise, found himself working at the onsen, for instance, because he couldn't find help, demanding 24 hours, 7 days a week by headquarters, and he just wanted to close down shop.
Yep.
In the wee hours of the morning, like 2 to 4 or something like this. It was a modest request, and headquarters said, no, you can't do that. And he said, I'm going to do it anyway. So they destroyed this man. They unplugged him from their supply chain, from their POS system. He was left. It looked like a scene from The Last of Us, Mike. 6 onigiri on the shelf, a sign on the window said cash only. He managed to continue operating by buying products from, I think, grocery stores and reselling them. And then 7-Eleven said, "Okay, you want to play ball? We'll play ball. You may own that store, but we own the land on which that store sits." They opened a competing 7-Eleven in his parking lot, a pop-up tent. Just really vicious business tactics, and I don't know what's happened since then. We should follow up on that story.
Yeah, we need to. I would imagine, at 7-Eleven Strikes Back, I think it seemed things were starting to tip in 7-Eleven's favor, because...
Tip.
Well, he might be just done. I think he was done. I think it was a tipping point.
The last step was they... Molotov cocktail place. I mean, what's left to do after you do something like that?
All right, man. Yeah, so if anybody, go back and listen. I think we actually were covering this back in the first couple episodes when they first turned off his credit card access. So this was a long time coming. All right, a couple other episodes that really stuck out. Episode 53, Keeping a Watch at the Conbini with Patrick St. Michel. That was a great one. Having the legend himself on
great, yeah.
To
Patrick
talk Conbini.
St. Michel. He wrote what was the name of the Conbini Watch?
Conbini Watch.
The column. Everybody should subscribe. He actually writes a very good newsletter, weekly newsletter. Check it out. Yeah. I wish I could remember the name of it. It's about Japanese pop music. It's a superb weekly newsletter. Impressive output he has. Also, very funny. He was a
Super funny
fabulous
guy.
guest. We got to
Awesome
get him back
guy.
on the show.
Yeah, we have to. We have to for sure. All right, so a couple more here, Matt, before we switch. Matt versus Melon Pan. If you're talking about my top 3 episodes, this is definitely in there. Matt versus Melon Pan. This is an episode where we had a sort of like Conbini courthouse. Matt was debating against Melon Pan. I was debating for Melon Pan. And I think in the end, the facts came out, and Melon Pan is good and loved, throughout the world.
I still disagree, but yeah, the jury said otherwise, and people do think Melon Pan is good. I still do not.
Yeah. All right. Couple more, Matt. The Conbini Olympics. This was kind of a high point for us. The Conbini Olympics. Maybe not the episode itself, but just sort of the sort of like situation of the Olympics taking place in Japan, and no one who came to like see the Olympics could get outside of this like bubble, and so all these reporters were eating at convenience stores, and so yeah, that was like people were loving, the Conbini was big news for those couple weeks.
And not only that, but we made some friends at the New York Times.
That's right.
Modest,
oh yeah.
Minor publications.
We were published
on the front page of the New York Times below the fold. So modest mistake by whoever runs that organization, at the top of the fold. But in the LA Times, and then we had I can't remember his name. He was a Canadian journalist, Devin something.
Yeah.
He was instrumental in promoting the Conbini while covering the Olympics, but we were coaching him. We became his Conbini coach while he was in Japan, and sure enough, his hauls got better and better.
Yeah.
No doubt because of our coaching over those 2 weeks.
No doubt. Yeah, there was a lot of coaching. Our phones were ringing off the hook, Matt.
Yeah, was weird.
That was really weird. LA Times, New York Times. Yeah, it was very, very exciting time. All right, Matt. Just a couple more. Final Fantasy Fried Chicken. This is kind of a sleeper. I really like this one. There was this fabled Final Fantasy Fried Chicken, but like we couldn't get it. It wasn't being sold, but there was like they had a whole hotline number dedicated to this fried chicken.
I remember that.
This was a Karage-kun. That was like a tie-up with the new Final Fantasy, the Light and Dark Crystal or something. That was quite an adventure. I don't actually remember what happened.
I think that's the only item we've ever seen where it did have a dedicated hotline.
That's right.
They were expecting so much volume for this fried chicken. It kind of... So 7-Eleven had those Pokemon Onigiri come out a couple weeks ago. I wonder if... I think that could use some kind of hotline as well. That people were pumped up about that. But that was hilarious that they had an actual phone number to call specifically about the Final Fantasy Karage-kun.
Yeah. All right, and then just one last one. This was episode 76 and 77, the Conbini Boys American Tour and Royal Farms, Anjou, and Costco. This this was special to me. So this was last year. We when I was home in the States, we got together. We recorded our first live episode, and then we went out and did some eating at Royal Farms, Anjou, and Costco. Or eating at Anjou, I don't know exactly what that's. But anyways, Matt, the thing I really liked about this episode and kind of made me feel a little nostalgic or maybe a little bit sad, not sad, happy, but one of the reasons that we started doing this podcast is because of COVID. And I think because of COVID, it's also like the reason that we haven't been able to like get together, to like, I think in a non-COVID world, if we were doing this podcast, we'd probably like, I don't know, meet up a couple times a year, actually like go out to the Conbini together. So, just kind of interesting, I thought. Yeah, that
was, well, not only that, but we found out, so Royal Farms is a genuinely outstanding convenience store with really good fried chicken.
Yeah.
And also a gas station. So you get the gas station plus the convenience store with very good fried chicken. No,
Yeah.
that was obviously a great time for me too, Mike. Yeah, hopefully now that I even saw something where the Japanese government was encouraging people to take masks off while outside and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Japan seems to be kind of heading back to normal.
Yep.
America has been back to normal for whatever normal
Two and a
is
half
here.
years.
Yeah, we kind of never really. There's about a 2 week period where we said, okay, we should probably do something.
Right.
That ended pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But no, looking forward to heading back to well, hopefully next year. Karen and I will get over to Japan and go see the countryside Conbini over in Kurobe.
Yeah, man. And that'll be a big one. Talking about big episodes. The first, in Japan, you and me together, prowling. I mean, just a cruising. In the convenience store. Anyway, so yeah, can't wait for that. And just looking forward, to the future. It's been awesome, 100 episodes.
That was great. Whatever. That was, man, there's been a lot of great stuff over the past couple of years.
Yeah, man. Surprisingly.
Well, one thing you didn't talk, well, you mentioned it once, Mike, but
Yes.
A couple of years ago we held a Conbini tournament, and Mike, we all know the World Cup is happening right now. I say we all know. I kind of know this is happening. I haven't watched anything. I just found out America was in it and lost. That's sort of where I'm at with the World Cup. But, Mike, there's an even bigger tournament that's about to begin. I know it's hard to believe. The World Cup, biggest sporting event, maybe even bigger than the Olympics, maybe.
Yeah.
We're saying something even bigger than that is coming, and that is the second ever Conbini tournament, Mike. As we hit our 100th episodes, we are announcing that the 2022 World Conbini Cup is going to launch, and I'd like to spend a few minutes, Mike, breaking it down for our listeners so that they can get ready. Mike, you were part of this, of course, a couple years ago. There was some absolutely savage matches, some points of truly, spirits uplifted and then crushed.
Yes.
Pocari Sweat losing in the final four. So, big difference. We only had a few hundred followers last time. We don't have that many. We have about 4,800 now, but we think we'll get an even bigger participation in this year's tournament. So
Right.
Allow me to break it down for our listeners. So
Yeah.
we got 4 brackets, everybody, just like the NCAA tournament. It's a knockout tournament. You lose once, you're done.
You're out of there.
We got the hot box division. We got the snack division. We got the main meal division, and then we got the beverage division. Okay, 4 divisions, Mike, 16 items in each division, ranked 1 through 16. We spent hours and hours coming up with these rankings, Mike. And as I look at them now, I feel like we could spend many more hours debating the position of these, but
no doubt.
let's introduce our top seeds in each division.
Sure
Out of
thing.
the hot box, Mike, there's no question about it. Fami Chicky, reigning champion 2020 Conbini tournament champion Fami Chicky leads the hot box division. Out of the snack division, we got Jagariko, the crispy fries, a legendary snack, always great, especially on the Shinkansen. In the meal division, we got the umeboshi onigiri.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That
sir.
was my pick to win it all last time, Mike. The umeboshi onigiri at number 1 in the meal division. And then out of the drink division, I think we're going to have to change these seeds a little bit here, Mike. But we have canned coffee ranked number 1. We're going to adjust that because we can't.
We might have to we might have to do that, man. We might have to go from a couple years before, take those rankings and readjust like that, because umeboshi onigiri as well, if we're talking about the king from 2 years ago, that was none other than
Tuna mayo.
Tuna mayo onigiri. So I don't know. We'll have to.
All right, forget
think
about those single seeds. We're going to readjust them based on the actual results from the 2020 tournament. But Mike, what are your thoughts on this year? You got any favorites? You got any hopefuls? Who you pulling for?
All right, Matt. I am really excited about this year. Like you said, first time we did this, it didn't have much reach. Like we'd be happy to get maybe, I don't know, 100 votes, maybe 50 votes. I have no idea. 10
at the beginning, like
10 votes.
15. By the end, though, we're getting several hundred.
Yeah. So I'm really excited because I felt, and like I said, if you want to go back and see one of my favorite episodes of all time, that would be Rip Can Coffee, where we give some eulogies to items that didn't deserve the sort of loss that they got. And I think the one that I'm most excited about is Oden, Matt. Oden. Yeah, Oden. Can you... I forget who they fought, who they matched up against in that first round, but I'm pretty sure it was a total loser. If you can zoom over to the left there. It was Oden versus Tsukune, Matt. Tsukune.
Oh, that's a battle there.
And Oden lost in the first round to Tsukune.
Oh, we had Oden at 3.
Yeah, Oden's one of the classics. So I'm hoping that people, don't have a vendetta out this year, and maybe we get a wider range of views. People who love Oden. We might have to adjust these seeds as well, but so I'm
to look at these seeds. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to do some adjustment. But
I would love to see Oden go a couple rounds.
Right? Yeah, I don't think it's fair. Not losing to Tsukune. Who's buying Tsukune? Nobody. Never bought it.
You've never bought Tsukune at the Conbini?
I got it one time, yeah.
Just one time, though.
I don't even remember.
I can say I actually have never bought Tsukune from the Conbini.
Why would you? There's so many good things.
It's okay. So there's a lot of hot action coming at you, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. We got 64 teams, so 63 matches are coming your way over the next several weeks. We're going to find out who the 2022 Conbini World Cup champion is.
That's right. World Cup. We gotta keep
Conbini
this
World Cup.
We gotta keep it themed as much as possible.
Really sorted the brand so much
right,
yet, but we'll get to that. My favorite, I'll say this, Mike. I want to see.
Okay.
And I know it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Because one thing I have learned over the last few years is not many people like canned coffee.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, I don't know.
All right.
I would like to see canned coffee at least beat drip coffee. I want to see a grudge match. I want to see these two go head to head one more time. And I want to see, I want round 2. I want the Thrilla in Manila.
Well, Matt, I will say we are in a privileged position where we can put our hand on the scale. We can match them up right off the bat.
Oh, at the beginning. Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, we get those grudge matches out of the way, make sure they happen. I say we do it. We might have to, seeds and stuff as well. Maybe we do need to take a little look over if there's some matches we definitely want to have because, we could do canned coffee versus drip coffee right off the bat. We could do Pizza Man versus Niku Man right off the bat. I mean, there's a lot of...
That was a showdown. That happened last year.
That did happen, yeah. Pizza Man, very strong. There's no doubt.
I could see a run happening with Pizza Man.
Yeah.
It was I think Niku Man took down Pizza Man in their head-to-head last year.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think there was a Mon killer. I can't remember who it was, but there was a Mon. It was Fami Chiki. I think Fami Chiki took down each of the Mons.
Did it really?
I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly.
With each one, because we had the Curry Man, the Pizza Man, and the Niku Man.
Yeah.
We should have had this ready to go. We totally unprepared. But there were some excellent matches last time, and I'm sure there are going to be some incredible matches this time.
Oh, yeah.
This launches we're recording Sunday. We'll go out Wednesday. The tournament will launch on Wednesday with our first rounds. So be on the lookout, everybody, on our Twitter feed. Also, we'll make brackets downloadable or accessible through a template on Google Docs.
Yep.
So check that out. Be sure to fill in your brackets before the tournament starts. So we'll make those available as well.
All right, Matt. Well, super pumped for the super pumped. I'm excited to see what happens here. Ken Fammy Chicky, take it again.
Back to back, yeah.
Will it be pizza?
We're gonna
Man?
find out.
All right, Matt. Well, hey, 100 episodes, man. It's been a pleasure. Just like to give a big shout out, as always, to everybody who supported us over the years. People have donated, but also, people who have helped us, like Uncle Andy, giving us that music, our intro music and the outro as well. My former coworker Kim gave us the art for our podcast. So, really thankful for that. And just anybody who's like helped us out, or been along for the ride over the years.
Fun, yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
New York Times, LA Times. We got to know the Conbini scholar.
Oh my gosh, the high point.
Dr. Gavin Whitelaw from the Harvard University. We actually did a webinar with
That's
him.
right.
Thanks to my friend Chisato. Thank you,
Chisato. Yeah,
for
that was
organizing
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Also, thanks to everybody who's contributed to the podcast. Actually given us money to help finance our Canva Pro account, which we use to produce things like Conbini art.
Yep.
And memes, as well as surveys.
Yes.
So thank you for that. So.
Yeah, and everybody who like on Twitter as well, who's like participated in any of like our polls or hauls, Conbini hauls, and just it's so cool. Yeah, like to see what people are buying.
That was another highlight. We had early days. We were mentoring. I can't remember his name, but on Twitter.
Right. Yes.
I mean, he was relatively new to Japan.
Yes.
He was coming back with some hauls, and there were some bad hauls, Mike. And but with some coaching, he was pulling in some of the best hauls
we've seen.
And I'll have to dig up some of those old tweets and bring them back in celebration of the 100th episode. That was a real highlight. I felt like we did some good with that one.
In the world, yeah. No, I agree, man. All right. Well, and, thanks to Apple Podcast, Spotify for letting us host on their site and make them lots of money, because we're just giving free entertainment out. And YouTube as well. Check us out on Twitter. That's where the Conbini World Cup, Conbini Tournament Part 2 World Cup edition is going to be playing out. Anyways, Matt, this is really fun looking over 100 episodes, looking toward to 100 or 1,000 more. For now, I'll see you at the Conbini.
I'll see you at the Conbini, Mike.